You know what, Pierre, if I could only do one thing, what should I do? Should I put money into the stock market or should I start saving towards the down payment on the house? Welcome back to another episode from the TF team. And now I'm on the catbird seat. Our good friend Josh has left us. He's flied the coop. Josh has gone over to the dark side. No, he's gone on vacation to Florida. And now I'm hosting Dollars to Dreams. Thank you, Stephanie, for this great saying because I couldn't come up with it. And to try to make our dreams, real estate at least, dreams come true, we've brought back Kevin from last week to talk this week a bit more about the stock market or investing in real estate. Well, welcome back, Kevin.
Thanks, Pierre. Thanks for having me back on. Always happy to be here. You know that.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So this week, I get a lot of calls. So I get a lot from students, from clients. You know what, Pierre, if I could only do one thing, what should I do? Should I put money into the stock market or should I start saving towards the down payment on the house? What would you say?
Well, the reality is it's hard to say one over the other.
Mhm,
That's just the reality, right?
mhm,
It really depends on your ability and willingness,
mhm,
right? Risk tolerance
mhm,
and what would you have, what kind of capital you have,
mhm.
and what you're comfortable with, right?
Yeah.
I know that the charts and stuff like that, and like the numbers look really fancy. Before I got involved in capital markets,
Mhm,
you're looking at like calligraphy. You don't know what
mhm.
you're looking at, and then people relate. Some people relate really well to real estate because it's
Mhm,
a physical asset.
mhm.
But the reality here is, the answer is, if this was a multiple choice questions, A, B, C, or D,
Yeah,
right? Stocks, real estate, all of the above, none of the above. It's probably going to be both, right?
yeah.
You're going to get involved in some way, somehow in both.
Mhm, mhm,
There's opportunities in the capital markets. They
mhm,
always say, the average of the S&P returns is 10%.
mhm,
Well, I want to disagree with that because it
mhm.
just depends on when you're buying in.
Exactly,
You could be
exactly.
buying in at the low point,
Mhm,
or you could be
mhm,
buying it at peak,
mhm.
right? They say it's on average historically, but that would mean you have to have invested consistently throughout history,
I'm
right?
I'm I'm with you. So it's not a one or the other, but one of the points that I like to always raise, because most people, if I'm a financial advisor, you're thinking I'm going to sway more towards investing because that's how advisors get paid. But where are you going to live? You need a place to live, don't you?
Absolutely, and we
Yeah.
definitely, you and I both need a place to live, right?
Hopefully not together, right?
Not, not,
Or your wife will have something else to say about that.
no, not together.
Yeah,
Maybe like an Airbnb on vacation or something like that, but definitely not common law,
yeah.
But we all need a place to live,
Mhm,
you and I,
mhm,
independently,
mhm,
right? With our families.
mhm,
Everyone needs a place. And the reality is this, that is an asset. A lot of
mhm,
people can relate well to it because they see it, feel it, touch it.
mhm,
It's really simple to explain to somebody. There's rental income coming in, whether
mhm,
you're paying down the mortgage, there's some appreciation over time, right?
mhm, mhm,
But the reality is this, though. I believe they complement each other extremely well.
mhm, mhm,
And where I want to go with this is the leverage you get from a real estate property.
mhm,
You put down a down payment, right?
mhm,
If it's you can put down 5%, if it
mhm,
up, like, not up to, as low as 5% if
mhm,
you are owner occupying it,
mhm,
if depending on if you qualify or not.
mhm,
The leverage is there,
mhm,
right? 20%, the leverage is there. You're putting up just a portion of it
mhm,
for the entire purchase of the asset.
mhm,
You could do some, well, there's obviously leverage as well in the capital markets
mhm,
when you have a margin account,
mhm,
but the downside with that is that if you get a margin call, the downside portion is not protected. It liquidates, and then you're going to be losing a bit of money.
mhm,
But what I think is a great strength,
mhm,
it depends how you're looking at it, because
mhm,
it's strength and weakness.
mhm,
Because a real estate asset is not liquid,
mhm.
during times of volatility, you not gonna be likely to panic
Yeah,
sell.
exactly. So it's a forced savings, so you're not gonna jump
Yeah.
out real quickly.
Whereas on the capital markets, like, sometimes
Mm,
emotionally, whatever, like, it's
mhm.
so quick. You just click a couple buttons on your
Yeah.
phone
Mhm,
or on your desktop. But the other side of the coin as well is that you need to find a ready buyer, one
mhm,
buyer, right?
mhm,
So they complement each other well in
mhm,
that regard. And then obviously, we were talking about times of volatility.
mhm.
You can't just press a button and sell.
Yeah.
You can wait out those those waves down.
Mhm.
And then during those times, you would have had some pay down.
Mhm.
During the great times, you're going to have some
That's right,
appreciation.
gone up.
You can
Mhm.
access some of that capital through a
Mhm.
refi at some point down the line.
Mhm.
Now you,
I think you're hitting on so many things, and I'm hoping that our clients have a good understanding. So when Kevin talked about leveraging, I know a lot of you have maybe a basic understanding. It's using other people's money to make money, and using the equity that you've built up over time, and now with that extra equity, you could invest in whatever you want. So yeah, when it comes to investing and using other people's money to make money, it's easier through real estate than it is through through like an investment, like you said,
yeah,
because not too many people will lend you money uh, to invest. They will, but your credit score has to be great, and it's not going to be on the same ratio.
it,
So
it totally depends.
yeah.
Let's make it even more simpler.
Hmm.
We talk about other people's money.
Hmm.
The other people's money part, let's pretend you put 20% down. That's your money.
Hmm.
The other 80 belongs to the bank,
Hmm.
right? So they're helping you get securing the property.
Hmm.
But let's say you have a startup, a
Hmm.
tech startup, AI startup.
Hmm.
How likely are you going to be able to get someone to invest into that project? Maybe,
Hmm.
maybe not,
Hmm.
right? And
Hmm.
then also, can you imagine asking your grandmother, "Hey, can I get some money to invest in the stock market?" She'll
Mm.
think you're losing your mind.
Yeah, especially my mother, she'll think I'm losing my mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, most mothers, right?
Mhm,
They're
mhm.
just doing their job,
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
But when you have access to capital
Mm,
through equity of your own property, you answer to yourself.
mhm.
Obviously, you have to request, from the bank as well,
Pay back, yeah.
right? And you
Mhm,
you obviously have to qualify for the refi
mhm,
to access that equity,
mhm,
but then you don't have to answer or ask so many other people,
mhm,
right? And those opportunities, when you talked about investing, other opportunities to invest, there are other avenues you can invest in yourself
mhm,
through an education.
mhm,
You have capital that's available. You
mhm,
can invest into a startup that you want to start.
mhm.
You could actually achieve more of your dreams and goals, but you need both,
Yeah,
right? You
yeah,
need that the equity from your property, and so and you want to be able to deploy it into whatever. I'm not saying do it into stocks. I'm saying if you do your own research
yeah.
and whatever you're comfortable with, and you see an opportunity. Otherwise, where can you get access to that amount of capital?
Exactly. I mean, the way of building wealth, if it's not through your own business,
Yeah,
right? If you're not starting the next Google or the next Facebook, is through real estate, right? Truly. And one of the great ways that you said, right? Accessing the equity. So you buy that first house,
yeah,
you build the equity
yeah,
over time, you pull out the equity out of that house and buy the second house. And then you do the same thing with the second house
yeah.
and buy that third house and so on. And before you know it, you've got a real estate portfolio in the millions, right? So
Or you can do whatever you want with it.
exactly.
You can invest it into your own education,
Beautiful.
right?
Yeah.
And then from there, there's no right or wrong. That's
Hmm.
the reality. It
Hmm.
just depends on what you're comfortable to do.
Hmm.
But let's take that out of the equation,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? We were just saying, where are we going to go?
Yes.
Right? That's the difficult part.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I think it's not one or the other.
Hmm.
It's one and then the other,
Hmm.
or the one and then both.
Hmm.
But let's like it just depends. Like
Hmm.
it's hard to say. Right now, what I would say is for younger people,
Hmm.
100% save a ton of money.
Hmm.
Save. Invest. Like learn to invest.
Hmm.
Learn like the fundamentals,
Hmm.
and then from there, you'll be very surprised,
Hmm.
like how great you feel after when you look back and you realize how much hard work you put in,
Hmm.
and like you won't get all the benefits right away, but when
Hmm.
you look back and you're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe these years went by.
Hmm.
Those years would have went by whether you saved or didn't.
Exactly. And isn't it better that you saved all
Yes.
those years makes it worthwhile?
Yeah.
So yeah, you're absolutely right. And one of the things I like about real estate, it's kind of we've alluded to it. It's that it's like a forced savings, right? You've got to just like you have to come up with your rent, you've got to come up with the mortgage. But if you're saying that you're going to save $1,000 per month, you know what? This month, I'm going to go to Florida, see Josh. Maybe I don't have the thousand, and the next month I'm gonna play golf here. I'll save next, and the next thing you know, 2 or 3 years have passed by, and then you haven't saved a dime.
Yeah.
Whereby with real estate, as you mentioned, it kind of forces you, if you like it or not, you need a place to stay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I'll tell you right now, just from my own sort of experience,
Mhm.
if you don't skim the money off the top, we were talking about that
Mm.
last week,
Mhm.
whether it's automatically goes into TFSA,
Mhm.
RRSP, whatever. If you don't skim it right away,
Mhm.
it's going to find a way to be spent
Oh,
somewhere
big
else,
time. Big time.
right?
Big time.
So the reality is, once you skim it and it's gone,
Mhm.
and then you have to pay all your other liabilities and
Mm.
expenses, you have nothing left.
Yeah.
So you can't really spend
You're
recklessly.
right. I mean, we've said this. I mean, I know Josh is not there, but he's repeated it many times. Whereby pay yourself first, get that 10% right off the top. Try to live on 90, and guess what? You'll find that you could live off 90% of your income. Then maybe live on 85.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
And then we could find the savings, or you could find the savings. It's basically up to you, right? In terms of, do you have a plan? And if not, speak to your advisor at the bank or speak to a member of my team, and we will help you in terms of creating that plan. So, in closing, what would you say? Um, how do we get there in terms of I think when I listened to Josh last week, I think he kind of talked about that with you again, but there's nothing wrong in terms of reinforcing it. How do I save for that down payment so I can get that house, build the equity from the house, and then use the equity for whatever, like you said,
Whatever
whatever I
you want.
want, right? So how do we get there again?
Yeah, so for me personally, and through the experience of my network and clients and friends, you have to attack it from both sides.
Mhm,
You know, let's be honest here. Like the expenses are going to pile up. Sometimes
mhm,
you can't control all of it.
mhm,
Yes, but
mhm,
as disciplined as we are, you gotta go from the income side as well.
mhm,
Whether that's taking on an extra job, starting up a new side gig,
mhm,
side business,
mhm,
but one of the things I'll say is don't just do it for only money.
mhm. Oh,
Use
yeah.
use your actual skills and
Mhm,
use like leverage your passions because
mhm,
you'll never run out of gas when
mhm,
you're passionate about something.
mhm.
And I'm not trying to make this sound all like lovey-dovey
Yeah.
and like inspirational, but
Mhm,
it's true.
mhm.
Like I practice train Brazilian jiu-jitsu,
Holy cow, let me get away from you
right?
there. Yeah.
And where I'm trying to go with this is that I don't care. Like
Mhm,
it's like I don't care what the costs are.
mhm,
Really price insensitive
mhm,
about it. But at the same time, I would like I could teach for free. Like
mhm,
I always tell people, what would you do for free?
mm,
Right? If you would do that for free,
mhm.
that means you love that. And
Exactly.
you could definitely monetize off that. Why?
Mhm,
Because you're passionate about it and you'd be great at it. And let's put two people together in the same room. If
mhm,
you're passionate about something, you're
mhm,
always going to be researching more ways
mhm,
or researching new things, new ideas. Whereas the person that's not as passionate about it,
mhm,
they'll work on it a little bit, they'll
mhm.
burn out. So in the long run, you'll never run out of gas.
Yes.
So where the bottom line or where the rubber really meets the road is
Mhm,
when you love something so much and
mhm,
you're willing to do it for free, that means you'll be really great at it.
mhm,
If you're really great at it, the
mhm,
market will compensate you for it because they need somebody like you to teach
mhm,
them or
mhm,
show them or
mhm,
advise,
mhm,
consult,
mhm,
whatever it is,
mhm.
or do it for them completely,
Yeah.
right?
I could tell you're a very passionate person, and I could feel your energy. So I know whatever you've done so far, there's so much more to come in the future for you to reach all of your goals, you and your wife. So what's next for Kevin in terms of the future? Because I really would like to have you on again next time. Really focus about, okay, how do I get a mortgage now?
Absolutely.
I've saved up the money, so what's the best mortgage? 1 year, 2 year variable? We'll definitely have you on because I love your passion. I love what you bring to the table. So really, what's next for you? What's next for you and your side of the business? And how do we get a hold of you?
So how you can get a hold of me is you can DM me at Kevin Hoang Mortgages on Instagram. I'm happy to, I'm always pretty responsive, and I don't let people like
Mhm,
left on red and stuff like that.
mhm,
You can reach me anytime. I love what I do, and I love talking about everything, sports, business, real estate, anything like that. But what I'm doing right now is I'm developing a 8 unit multifamily property out in
Oh.
Alberta
Mhm.
with a partner of mine,
Mhm.
um, and a couple partners,
Mhm.
and essentially, that is taking up a majority of my focus and energy
Okay.
on the investing side.
Mhm.
I spend a lot of time and energy coaching young clients that are starting to get into the workforce,
Mhm.
that are millennial Gen Z age, looking to get into the market. So
Mhm.
those are the folks that I feel like I can help the best,
Mm.
just because I've been there, I've done that. I know what it feels like to be in that position.
Mhm.
So I feel like just with my experience and everything that I've gone through, these guys will benefit the most
Mhm.
as I go on along my journey, and they're kind of tagging along that journey.
Mhm.
They get the real sort of live,
Mhm.
on the go sort of education, right? So I spend majority of my time juggling both, and then I train jujitsu. That's
Mhm.
my third leg, or that's my passion as well.
Mhm.
But I'm a pretty busy person, and at the end of the day, though, I'm always available for people that need the help and need the support and the guidance.
Mhm.
I got all the help a lot, like, when I was coming up as well. So I'm
Mhm.
always happy to pass on, for other people as well. So
So you're very busy, but one thing I like about Kevin, he's never too busy for us, and he's never too busy for his clients to help them educate. That's why we're kind of simpatico because our goal at TF Team is to educate clients and to make sure that we could help them, assist them in making their dreams come true. Looking forward to having you back to look about that the Alberta project because that sounds very, very interesting. And really, thank you again for coming.
thanks, Pierre. Appreciate you.
Hopefully, definitely see you again. Josh, safe travels wherever you are. Nobody knows where he is, but whenever you come back, the seat is ready for you. So please subscribe and like, and hope to see you again in the days to come. Thank you for coming.